All right, we're gonna do a quesadilla again, but this time it's gonna be on flatbread. It's gonna be a little bit strange, maybe to you guys, of what I'm using, but try it. It's gonna be good. So the first thing I'm gonna show you is the bread we're gonna do is a malted barley and wheat. If you can't have gluten, then you gotta get yourself something else. But get a bread flour. Don't get all-purpose flour. Get a bread flour so you don't have to use any yeast. This kind of bread flour here, I'm guessing it's the barley or malted barley. When you add the water to it, it has a nice pulliness to it. It's almost like you yeasted it. And there's nothing in here that says yeast. Kind of can see it. There it goes. All right. I'll explain how to make it in a minute. I'm going to go over my indoor gardening and some really good tips and stuff if you're interested. So the bread is going to consist of some sprinkle of baking powder, some sea salt, and some pepper, and the water, and that's it. That's all you need for the bread. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put some garlic in it. This is store-bought organic garlic. I'm going to put that in it. Inside the quesadilla, we're going to put apple, carrot green, cilantro. These are both from my garden. I'm going to go over and show you that. We're going to put radish in it just because I want to use it, and it should be pretty interesting. The radish greens are edible and awesome, but I'm going to make a side salad with that. So we got radish, we got cilantro, we got the carrot greens, we got apple. The bread will have the garlic and the saltiness and the pepper. And of course, it'll have the vegan cheese. I'll show you how to do that once I get it out. One meal a day I eat, organic, non-GMO. I've been growing my own food as best I can for the past year and a half, mostly indoors. I have a little spot outdoors in the summer. And that's important because I live in a 2-bedroom, second floor apartment. So you can do what I can do if you have an apartment. And I'll show you the spots that I have the stuff in. You can do it in a basement. You can do it in a garage. You can do it in a work shed, whatever you want. It's not that expensive to set up, and you can save yourself so much money on herbs alone. Growing 4 or 5 different herbs will probably save you $200-300 a year. It's really that awesome and simple. I'm going to show you that. So let me go through that real quickly. With my dinner tonight, I got a half a scoop of, let's see if it comes in here, half a scoop of Garden of Life raw meal. This is awesome alkalinity. Down here is a tangerine amazing grass. So I mixed them together. This one is just kind of like a slight plant taste. It's not like yucky or anything like that, but it's kind of blah. This is awesome because it has like a nice tangerine flavor to it. They're great for alkaline. They're mostly grasses and greens and roots and veggies and stuff like that. I add the most awesomest thing. This is the best company I've found. I've been using it for years now. It's got a salt and fresh water process, and it's naturally occurring, if my camera will show you. It's naturally occurring. Now, they're not putting the new label that they have right here. They're not showing you, but it's like 200 to 300% on the A, the K, and the B12. And as you can see, it says naturally contains. And it's high with iron and some other stuff too. So if you need B12, K, and A, this is a great thing. It's only a teaspoon. I only use like a 1/4 teaspoon and 1/8 teaspoon because I don't need 300%. And I drink them once to twice a day. So let me see. Sorry when my camera bounces like that. It's the lighting in my kitchen, I think. But yeah, so that goes with my dinner, and this is what it looks like. I also have a plant protein mix by Vega One. I already had that today. And Garden of Life also makes one. So it's a replacement meal, and it's 20 grams of protein, but it's got like roots and seeds and not grass. Well, yeah, maybe one has grasses in it too, but it's awesome, and it tastes really good. So that's like my filler protein type thing up, and then that's it. So non-GMO organic, grow your own food, 1 meal a day. Buy only what's truly recyclable. Reuse stuff like this all the time. And learn to grow your own food. And I'm going to walk you through that real quickly before I make the bread, which only takes 10 minutes on the stove. It's so simple. The cheese is already made. I'm going to show you how you do it. It's simple. And the indoor garden, it's saves you money, but it's fun. It gives you something to do, and it makes your house look really nice. So let's go do that real quickly. Everything you see is non-GMO organic seed or root or store-bought, and I ate it and then seeded it. And when I show you that, I'll point it out. All right, so the cucumbers have exhausted themselves, but there's still a few. So we'll see what happens. I'll check. He just took off. He got scared when I turned to look at him. I got this beautiful big Stellar J. If you've never seen a Stellar J on the West Coast, I'm from New Jersey, so we had Blue Jays, and they were beautiful. But these Stellar Jays, man, they're a little bit bigger, and they got this black and deep blue and purple, and their headdress on their head stands up really tall. So there's a garlic I threw in there, organic garlic from the store. It had sprouted, so I threw it in there, and now it's sprouting a ton of things. So we'll see what happens there. 2 different kinds of lettuce, both romaine. Grows in about 35 to 45 days. Oh, these radishes that I showed you, there's still some that didn't grow that great, but I'm leaving them for the leaves. And they go on a 25 to 30 day cycle, so they're really good to grow because you get the radish and the greens. Whole bunch of strawberries here. I'll tell you the story behind that. When you see vines like that, that means the plant made babies and you got to repot them everywhere, put them in pots to grow. So here's some basil that is stalking. I'll get the seeds from that, flowering. There is another plant to its left. I cut it a lot. It's old, so I started a new one in the other room. Here is another cilantro. As it's stalking, it's growing so fast, and I can't keep up with using it. But I'll collect the seeds once that goes as well, and I'll start another one. There is oregano there. Over here are peppers. So this is a store-bought organic mini peppers, yellow, orange, and red. I ate it. I seeded it. Here's a trick when you do these after they're done. Cut some of it down, the main stalk and some branches. Not a lot, just about a quarter. And you should get them to grow back again. And like this one has about 12 to 15 on there already. So after you cut them, it might only grow maybe 5 or 6, but hey, it's worth it. You don't have to throw it out. Try it. And like I said, oregano there. Roma tomatoes, organic, non-GMO from the store. Ate them, seeded them, eat them, seed them, eat them, and seed them. Social garlic. You can eat the stems, the flowers when they grow, and the leaves. It's not as potent as garlic, so I love it. Trying to grow Brussels sprouts indoors, not doing all that well. Outdoors, they were doing fine. Here's some sage. I've cut that a few times, and it keeps growing back, so that's good. And like I said, it grows back, so you pay $3 for a seed pack of, say, 100, 200 seeds, and you get non-GMO organic, and you use it when you need it for dinner. It starts growing back, and instead of buying that monthly or twice a month at $4 a pop, see? Want to see the sunset? You can't see the mountain ridge because of the sun's blaring. I'll show you in the other room. Oh, and here was some wildflower and some jasmine vine that I'm growing, but I guess I must have dropped the seed in. Here's a big bell pepper. All right, so sometimes I put stuff outside, sometimes I bring it in, depending on the wind. This is Italian giant leaf parsley. It grows awesome and huge and constantly. Can't keep up with it, even when I give it to the neighbors. The great thing about parsley, I'll show you on my kitchen. I've had it there for over a week. You can cut one of these down at the base, throw it in a glass of water. It will stay for like 2-3 weeks without going bad. Here's some Roma tomatoes. First time doing grape tomato and Campari, so I let it grow out just to see it. And apparently it needs to have pollination, not like the Romas, which can grow without pollination. And so what happens is the flowers got weak and they dropped off. 1 did make it, 2 did make it, and then there's some more flowers up there, so no big deal. Next time I'll get one started. I got them actually started down below in the outer garden section. I'm going to put some on my balcony now that it's the middle of May and it's going to stay warm through the night. And I'll cut it down next time before it gets too big, and it should be able to pollinate by the flies and the bees. I call them flies. They're bee fly and then the bees. We got these bee flies. It's like half bee, half fly. Some more strawberries, red new potatoes from the store, organic. Let them spud. I put them in there. I've grown golden potatoes before. I only got like 6 or 7. This time the bucket feels heavy. They're growing way healthier. Last time they didn't even flower, and I still got potatoes. This time they flowered. There's still some that need to flower, so they should be almost ready. More strawberries. I'm going to tell you the story behind that in a minute. Over here I got some light. It goes outside a lot of times, but it was real windy, so I didn't. The basil's behind it. This is giant celery. It does take a long time, like 100 days, 110 days. I don't even let it mature all the way. I cut them. I've been cutting them for the last couple weeks. They still taste exactly the same. They're actually easier to handle because you don't have to cut it up a million times. It's small enough to just cut it, and it's long enough to get a lot out of it. The leaves are really good too. Wild mint from the creek out in the mountains. That's true non-GMO and organic spearmint. Grows like crazy. I got it in a couple containers. I got a carrot from there that I put in there just to see if it would grow. And then some leftover cucumbers. They still look healthy. They're still putting out a few. So we'll see what happens there. Alright, so this is strawberry room. This is where it all started a year and a half ago at one rack. Trying to start some plants and stuff. I had 4 to 6 strawberries. I think I had 6. 2 of one kind, 4 of another. They were non-GMO organic roots. They basically were just that part right there and then roots. They almost looked like they were dead. Now I got about 140, as you will see. You saw the rest of them. I probably showed you 20 of them or more already. And here is some more. And there's some more. I just cleaned it up and got it organized. As you can see, they just keep burying and burying and burying. Or not burying, babying and babying and babying and babying and babying and babying and burying, burying, and burying. Never seen a strawberry flower. That's what they look like. Let's see if you can see the mountain view. So there you can see the mountain ridge and then the sunshine, the sunset. So this is the strawberry room for now because that's all I can grow. I'll show you stuff that's outside. So here's another mini pepper. This one's only got about 7 to 10 on there. There's some more wild mint. That's not even the original. And here we go. I had to buy this 3 weeks ago. Why? Because strawberries are growing. Let's see, I probably gave out about 6 already, 7 already, because there's no more room. And I don't know what I'm going to do because there's already babies being made, as you can tell. So this little baby here is that. You want to see something crazy? So this guy's a baby plant making a baby. Let's follow this one. This one goes to this guy here, which goes back to that guy over there. Some of them are crazy. Some of them have like 5, like ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. So yeah, they're just everywhere. Everywhere, 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 everywhere. I'll show you what's outside. So again, I want to keep this a little short, but I'll go over this real quickly. The shelves are called Hyper Tough. Online, Walmart, $56, $55, 60 with tax. 7 feet tall, 3 feet wide, 16 inches deep. You can see there's plenty of space. These are 5-inch pots, 6-inch pots. Little guys are 4-inch pots. These guys down here, that's like an 8-inch pot, so I fit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, something like that. Hyper Tough white. You get white, black, or chrome. Lights, GE grow lights, 2 feet long. Don't get the 3-foot ones. You don't need them. 2 foot on a 3-foot rack is perfect. It's red and blue from seed to fruit and flower, or from start to finish. But it's white light. Even though it's red and blue spectrum, it's white light. So it makes your house look beautiful. And yet, as you can tell, whether they're babies, juveniles, or full grown, it works perfect. You don't have to leave them on for 16, 18 hours like the box says. I leave on mine maximum 9 hours. Most of the time they're like 6 to 8 hours. I do get about 1 hour to 3 hours of regular sun into the windows, not this section. And as you can tell, everything. You'll see the other plants I'm going to show you that are under here. I started putting them outside the last 2 days. They're lilacs. But you can see this pepper plant growing absolutely perfect with a good 1.5 feet of the light. These are a little bit closer, more like, well, this might be 1.5 feet. This is more like 8 inches to 1 foot on some of them. And they're growing perfect. So 6 to 8 hours, 40 watts. They don't make your electric bill go up. You don't need to put them 16 to 18 hours. I don't know why they tell you that. And again, so this section gets about 1 hour to 2 hours of regular sun. Matter of fact, let's see here real quickly so I can show you. So it kind of is on its way down. It gets it a little bit before, then it goes to shade, then it comes back to this. So I'll just keep it on for now. But like I said, you only need 6 to 8 hours. You can see it growing. You know, I'm not lying to you. You can see everything growing perfect. Why waste any electric? It barely uses any, but why even waste it? Okay, so I couldn't see. I guess it was still playing. I thought it was paused, but it's not. That's why I didn't say anything for a minute. So out here, these things will go inside some of these, like these flowers, which I'll show you what they are in a second. This doesn't even get that much light, but they're cosmos, and I don't know, and they're growing absolutely beautiful. So even just off of the light and on the ground, there's enough of that light from those 2-foot lights that shines down, and these things grow perfect. Like here's forget-me-nots growing out of it. Here's celery. That's going to go on the shelf right here that I just showed you a second ago. And then these flowers here, they barely get that much light. I've been putting them outside now, but they grew like this indoors. That's how that filtering effect from the 2-foot lights are so awesome. And that's a pomegranate, edible bonsai pomegranate. These are lilacs, and they were on the bottom shelf that you saw kind of empty. That's just started putting them outside now. Here's some more of those kind of flowers. I don't know what they are. And this is the Campari tomato. So you can see here, it's got that, and it's growing some more flowers here. And I saw flowers somewhere else. Where were they? Oh, here they are right next to them. There's some more over there, and I can see some starting in here and here. Hopefully get some like 20, 25 tomatoes there would be nice. If you're not familiar with Campari tomatoes, they are a modification of a cherry tomato, and they'll be slightly larger. I'll show you this real quick. I cut this down 6 months ago after it flowered last summer, and it came back as 3 plants instead of 2. It got done flowering. It's touching the top of the ceiling, but it's still flowering here. If you know what it is, let me know, because I have no idea what it is. It's huge though, isn't it? Look at that. It's crazy. So these little guys here, and again, look at how big it got. It just sits here. It gets maybe a half hour to an hour of the light shining in, and then just the filtering effect of this light coming off the shelves. And look at how it grew. And again, 6 to 9 hours. So, you know, that's how easy it is. All right, so let me get the bread started. I'll get the cheese out, and then we'll talk about that, and we'll get this meal done. Hopefully this inspires you on different levels, from recycling to eating healthy, 1 meal a day, these kind of grass juices. Here, I'll show you. So vanilla Garden of Life raw meal is really excellent. Chocolate's a little bland, but still good to have. This Vega mint is super overpowering mint. I bought it to try it, but when I want mint, I just take a few of my spearmint leaves and throw them in with the chocolate Vega, and I have chocolate mint. But it was worth trying it. It's just so much mint that I only use a tiny little bit, and like today I had it with this, so the mocha's pretty good. So I did like almost a whole scoop of mocha practically, because I literally only need that much of the mint. And then I use this chocolate, is excellent. It's in a smaller container because it was on sale, but I normally get the bigger container. So there's the other things I was telling you about that I eat. Real quickly, you can get tangerine, that tastes really good, lemon, lime, berry, and let me see, lemon, lime, berry, and tangerine. Yeah, those are the 3 good ones. Lemon, lime, berry, and tangerine. They taste really good, and chocolate's pretty decent as well. And that was amazing grass. Don't know if I told you, but these aren't green onions. This is a red onion that sprouted, an organic red onion, like a nice big one. And so I put it in there, and it went from one of these things to all these things. There's 2 in there, and I'm hoping it will flower and produce seeds to grow red onions. So we'll see what happens. All right, so the salt, the pepper, the baking powder, and some garlic are in there, and I mixed it up a little bit. Now I'm gonna add some water to it. And again, I'll show you the consistency. You just add it until you get to the consistency, no matter how much flour you're using. It doesn't matter. Then after I get it going, I'll add the rest of the garlic in there to make sure there's a good even flow of it. I'm gonna heat my pan up on 5, let it get hot, and then the oil's already in there. All right, see if I can do this with one hand. So I'm gonna show you what you normally would do with this flour. See if I can show you that pulliness. You see that, like, pulliness? Okay, that's where you want to get it. Now, I'm going to make it slightly waterier, more water. This is what you want if you want to make a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch thick. But because I want it thin so I can easily roll it over, fold it over, and not take away from the inside and be overwhelming with bread, I'm going to add just a little more. But if you do any of this bread, and you could put any kind of veggies or herbs or seasonings in this bread for wraps, for flatbread just to eat with soup or salad. I put peppers in it. I put onions and stuff in it. I put tomatoes in it. It's awesome. So you want to keep it at this consistency. And as it sits a little bit, as your pan warms up, it's going to thicken up still. And it will look like you yeasted it, but you didn't. So just for tonight, I'm going to try to make it a little less watery so it spreads thinner easily and I could flip it over easily for the quesadilla. But that's the kind of consistency you want normally for a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, before I add the water to it, it's been 2 minutes. I want to show you what I said, how it... Look at that. Oh, it's thicking up now. You got to see, it's pulling, like it's like dough. Like, you know what I mean? It's like yeasted almost. Oh, and by the way, I got this recipe from a girl online, flatbread recipe. Some, like, I don't know, she was from a different country. But I don't do it her way. She used an egg and or milk. And as you can see, A, that's a waste of money. B, you don't eat animals. And it's no good for you anyway. So this is just water, salt, pepper. You could add a little oil if you want. I don't necessarily do it all the time. I didn't do it this time. And bread flour and any herbs and stuff you want. Don't waste your bread. Don't waste any butter or milk or eggs. It's first of all, they're animals. They need to be left alone. It's no good for your body, and it's a waste of money. You'll see. Make this, and you'll see how awesome and tasty, and how it can pull like flatbread or a garlic naan. It's really awesome. All right, so I took the spatula and the spoon, and I kind of spread it out because it is, like I said, kind of doughy, and I spread it out so it will be nice and flat. And I'm going to talk to you about making the cheese while this is cooking. Probably like 2-3 minutes. Flip it. 2-3 minutes. Flip it. I'll probably add the cheese and all the goodies and then close it up and do it up like that. Alright, so there's the cheese. It's like a block cheese. It's like a wet mozzarella feel to it. I'll show you how to make it. It's easy. I have molds. It just turned out by accident that the molds and the recipe that I got from online works out perfect for this. You could put it in a whole Tupperware if you want. Cut around the edges. It will plop out real easy. I don't do what they did. I added my own stuff to it. She used regular nutritional yeast. I'm going to tell you that's not going to make a good cheese. So, use your own vegan Parmesan shaker cheese or get this excellent one from thrivemarket.com. It's excellent. Let's see if you can see the ingredients here. I don't know what's up with my camera. Let's see. Alright, cornstarch, coconut oil, inactive yeast, rice, calcium citrate, natural flavors. It's going to be vegan because this is a vegan product. Sea salt and lactic acid. It's vegan, non-GMO, soy-free, gluten-free, cholesterol-free. It's awesome. Of course, you saw it now on that. There you go. All right, it's excellent. Get yourself some agar in one of these containers that can be recycled, not the pouch. Salt and pepper to the taste. Now, you can make this cheese and add anything you want to it, but this is strictly plain cheese because I'm using it for pizzas and for quesadillas. Otherwise, I've done tomato, roasted red bell pepper, fresh bell pepper, herbs. Basil was real excellent in it. I put black cherries in it, which was excellent. Parsley, which was excellent. Raspberry jelly, which was excellent. Whatever you want to do. This is the consistency. Now, this one I made without the arrowroot powder. I'll get that out just to show you and tell you why. So last time with the quesadilla, I made it with a teaspoon and a half of arrowroot flour. It helps it melt a little bit better. This time I didn't. And you can see it's a little bit more solid, still bouncy and soft mozzarella type, feel to it. I'm going to cut it up to show you. So here's how you make it. Get yourself a blender and a can, or fill up 15 ounces of your favorite non-dairy milk. I used vanilla almond milk this time around, unsweetened, 15 ounces. I use 4 tablespoons of the vegan Parmesan cheese, a tablespoon and a half of the agar, salt and pepper to taste, and like I said last time, I used a teaspoon and a half of arrowroot. You blend the heck out of it. You put it in a small pot, about 7 to 10 minutes on medium, just like the bread. You whisk it and whisk it. It will start to get gooey and gooey like cheese. Don't let it boil all over the place. Just bubble it and bubble it and bubble it. 7 to 10 minutes, take it off the stove, whisk, whisk, whisk. Throw it in your mold or whatever you're doing. Throw it in the fridge. 20 minutes, it will be chilled and hard. And that's it. That's how you make it. And it will have that Parmesan mozzarella type flavor. It's awesome. Even though I use vanilla almond milk, it still worked out really well. So let me cut this cheese up to show you. I made this yesterday, I think, or the day before. Check my bread. My bread's coming out a little thicker anyway. So here you can cut it and you can see. This is without the arrowroot flour. It will melt, but it will still look like this. You push it down with a spoon. You ever have a fresh mozzarella pizza where it doesn't look like the cheese is melted, like say in a fancy restaurant, and they plop it down in between the sauce? It will look like that, but it will still melt without the arrowroot. If you want it to melt better, then add the 1.5 teaspoons of arrowroot, and you'll see you can put the cover on. As I push down, you see it starts to kind of flatten and melt. So it's up to you. I just want to test it this way compared to the way I made it last time. That's why I did that. Cut the apple any way you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and take the peel off it and make it real like little dices and stuff like that. That's how I'm going to do it. All right? So let me get my bread before it goes bad and I can put this all together and show you. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever tried this. And I hope it will fold and smush down like a quesadilla because it came out a little thick. And this whole combination is brand new to me. I've never had radish warmed or cooked. But we're going to see how this works. It looks delicious, so let me see if I can fold this over. Okay, I figured when I saw how thick it started to get, it kind of broke a little bit, and it's pushing out. There's a lot of stuff in there, but it will work. It's a flatbread quesadilla, so I just wanted it a little bit thinner to be like a quesadilla style thinness, but with the bread taste. But it's still going to look pretty good. I can't flatten it down and crush it and seal it like you would a quesadilla. So I'm going to do the best I can. Let me work with it for a minute. I just wanted to show you. But again, we'll see what happens. Alright, so I pressed it down a little bit, but it is what it is. It's going to fall out a little bit. Once I crisp it up, I'll carefully try to flip it to crisp the other side up. What I was going for was thinner bread. I should have added a little more water to it so it would easily spread out. And I kind of let it go too quickly where it didn't have enough bend into it, so it was thicker and then it broke. But I should be able to crisp it and it's still going to taste good. I just wanted to get that sealed quesadilla in a flatbread. That's all basically I wanted to get. And yeah, so let's see what happens. Okay, real quickly, I don't know how much time I have. So get yourself some young jackfruit. Throw this in the pan. Rinse it, shred it. It looks like chicken nuggets. It looks just like raw chicken. Throw it in the pan, olive oil, season it however you want. And then you can use this as chicken in your thing. You can warm it and keep it tender, or you can crisp it. Whatever you want to do. I've done tons of things with it. I just didn't get to do it tonight, and I'm probably not going to eat another one. If I decide to eat another one, then maybe I'll show you. But it's so simple. Italian seasonings, whatever seasonings you want, with some oil, salt, and pepper. After you rinse it, drain it, squish it down with a paper towel, shred it. It will look like shredded pulled pork or something, but it looks like chicken. And yeah, it's awesome. So you can use this as chicken. So you can have a chicken quesadilla. So I'm about to try to flip this. I just wanted to show you the cheese is melting even without the arrowroot. So I was able to flip it kind of crisp on the other side. If I can, excuse me, I'll flip it again. You could have it, it's not really doughy. It will be like, you know, it will be done. You can see there, it will be done because it's thin. It's not going to be like thick bread. So if you like it doughy and soft, you can. I'm going to try to crisp mine just a little bit. So the outside will be crispy and the inside will have that nice pull to it. But what I would have done, but I don't have any, tomatoes would have went in there. Oh, tomatoes would be so good in there. All right, let me show you. I'm thinking about cutting it. You can see it's kind of stable, but because it cracked over here, it's thickened and you could pick it up, but this side here cracked more. So I'm thinking I might cut it just to see what you can see the inside better. But you could probably pick it up. It's too hot right now. But let me let it cool, and I think I might try to cut it. Might be a little bit easier to handle. Still really hot. But I wanted to show you this. So one of my favorite hot sauces of all time. Hot, but not too hot. But I love it because it has a great flavor. I don't like hot sauces that are just burning hot and don't have like flavor. So I threw some in there. And it's still really hot. Let me see if I can pick it up. Alright, so let's see if I can do it. It's kind of hot. It held together pretty good on this side. I love you all, and thanks for watching. Back home, or anybody new on my page or whatever. Oh, hot. Fell out. Good. Hold on. All right, so it held together better than I thought, even though it cracked. Obviously, you want to get it so it doesn't crack like that. You can seal it up better, maybe a little thinner, but it's excellent. I already know that the garlic in the bread with that hot sauce is going to go awesome. And as you can tell, it melted without the added arrowroot flour. And that's where it fell out when I bit it because it was hot. Tomatoes in this will make it excellent. So there you go. Hope you learned a lot. And this bread, no dairy, nothing. It's awesome. Do whatever you want with the bread and the cheese. Like I said, you can make so many different styles with it. All right? And you could do these with, throw some vegan mayonnaise or any dressing you like, and make veggie sandwiches, cold veggie sandwiches. I make pizza with this. It's awesome. It makes great pizza. All right? So we're at 30-minute mark. Hopefully you watched the whole thing and you learned some stuff. All right? And you get inspired. All right? Ooh, it's good. It tastes so good. I didn't really taste the radish yet, but maybe because it was too hot. But I can't wait to bite into the one with the hot sauce. So let me go eat this. And thanks all for watching. Love yous all. Bye.